better than the Doll brothers. Jack and Ryan, they're brothers, but they're also bros. What? Pardon? Wrestling. Oh, who the hell wants to talk about wrestling? These are horror movies. It's a deep genre. It's a smart genre. Fantastic actors. Fantastic cinematography. Wrestling is just sweating and fireworks and bouncy ropes. There's nothing to how do you talk about that every week? All right. Let's see them try. Take it away, you crazy dolls.
You.
Jesus fuck my fucking ass. What the fuck? Please shut up.
No. Master Watto is a
shut
champion.
up.
You're gonna put some
Stop
respect on his
fucking
name
saying
now.
Master Watto on this fucking show.
IWGP Junior Heavyweight Co-Champion.
What's up, you guys? Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful here. You're watching the MonsterCast with Jack and Ryan. A big shout out to those fellas. Good people. Check them out.
Oh my god, what is this?
It looks like a
making
TV.
The New Japan titles. They need to stop making
It looks like
titles.
a TV, bro. They took it too literally. That's the problem.
They should have just turned it into a TV. I would have been more impressed.
That would have been cooler.
Put some antennas
it-
on the top.
No, just make it like a digital title. Like you could display whatever you want on the digital.
Oh, like an
title.
LCD screen?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then have
That'd be
the
sick as
picture
fuck.
of the person that's the champ. That'd be so good.
Oh fuck.
That'd be worth it.
Wrestling podcast. How fucking original.
Jake and Brian. Brandon Cutler here from AEW, and I hope you guys have an awesome podcast with the MonsterCast. What was that? Your name is Jack and Ryan? Shut up, Jack and Ryan.
Tell me who you would sign first.
Hiroshi Tanahashi.
No, not overall, genius. Between the two goddamn examples I'm about to give you.
Master Wada.
Killer Cross or Dominic Dijakovic, who are you signing first?
Killer Cross. 100%.
What the fuck?
Absolutely.
Wrong! That answer is
would.
wrong!
I would.
Oh
Killer
my god.
You don't know shit! Your opinions suck!
I guess you're welcome.
Fuck, I'll boo it.
I don't think I've ever said boo.
I will.
That's so stupid.
I'll do it. Boo! Boo! You don't actually say the word because that's why it sounds weird. You gotta, it's like more like a note. Boo! You don't fucking actually say boo. Boo! 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 You don't turn it into a fucking chant. You actually have to.
I will. I'm gonna do that at Forbidden Doors.
You start a boo chant. Boo! 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 Boo!
Here's your hosts of the MonsterCast, the Straight Edge Monster Jack and Ryan.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the MonsterCast. I am your host, the Straight Edge Monster Jack. That over there is Ryan Rockwell, and yeah, it's been a while. We're still alive, believe it or not.
Month, I think.
I don't know how long it's been. It feels longer than that to me.
I think the last thing we did was Clash of the Castle.
Clash of the Castle, man, we've missed so much shit. I mean, we haven't missed it, but
Yeah,
we haven't covered it on the show. Obviously, we're going to cover AEW All Out 2024, which happened last night. I've been having a lot of technical difficulties over here, a lot of computer issues. We're actually back on my old computer with the new computer's graphic card inside of this one. So that's where we stand right now. So we're going to try to make this short and sweet, and hopefully we can get through this. Everything I've been streaming on Twitch as far as video games, though, for the past month or so, after a long layoff with that, too, trying to figure everything out, has been working pretty good. Almost everything's been working smoothly. So hopefully we have the same thing here. Now, obviously, let's go ahead and just start into it. Do you want to go match by match? Do you want to just jump into obviously the shit that's going to stick out for everybody? That is the whole reason why they didn't even have a real scrum last night, that they tried to play off like it was the most serious shit ever. Do you want to talk about how many convicted felons there are in AEW currently?
Not yet. They haven't been charged. But
we have the evidence, though. They are literally convicted. They're going to be convicted felons.
They're innocent until proven guilty.
They're not guilty, though. We've all seen it. How do you get a
like you
jury
said,
for
they're
that?
Not guilty. That's
How
what
do you
I
get a
said.
jury for that? Everybody saw it. So, like, how do you even get a jury together for that? WWE
During
fans?
Jury selection, during jury selection, you would say, "Do you like WWE?" Because we know you weren't watching that shit.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of. All right. So let's do.
We go match by match.
All right, let's go match by match. Let me pull it up. We'll go match by match. That's fine. You want to start on 0 hour?
Yeah, the best part is 0 hour, and probably the whole show was that Chris Jericho had no matches. A highlight for me. Didn't have to fucking sit through a single boring ass Chris Jericho segment. And I'm not a Chris Jericho hater. Like, we've talked about Jericho a lot. I'll give him his praises where he needs praise, but it was nice to have a card without him.
Let's
So we'll start there.
Okay. What the I don't know if this is in order. Let me see if this is in order. I think this is in order. The Acclaimed versus Iron Savages was that our first match?
That sounds right. Yeah.
I mean, I know it was on 0 hour, but I can't remember if it was the first match or not. All right.
I was watching. That sounds right.
Okay. All right. So the Acclaimed defeated Iron Savages. Nothing to write home about. They getting the Acclaimed back on track as far as getting dubs again to make them not look weak and always like contenders for tag titles or possibly trios titles. So nothing to write home there about. That's pretty much how we thought it was going to go. Iron Savages can't be like the Outrunners and get their first dub, so they got to keep losing first. Dustin Rhodes, Sammy Guevara, and Hologram defeating the Premier Athletes. You had mentioned to me that you don't see the big deal of Hologram, or no, I think you were more concerned about the character than anything else. Now there was a couple of
Great in the ring.
yeah, great in the ring. There was a couple of bullshit spots, but I don't think they were really on him in this match. You're doing shit with Josh. What the fuck's his name?
Josh Woods.
Yeah, Josh Woods. I was gonna say Josh Briggs, and I was like, no, that's WWE, I believe. So Josh Woods, that's not necessarily known to be doing or taking those types of moves, like the corner move that they slipped up on. So I'm not gonna hold that against Hologram at all. Also, I think Hologram, they came out and said it was Aramis in AAA. Yeah. Okay. So. Okay. So. Also, there's probably a language barrier there as well, communicating in the ring. So I'm not going to really hold too much of that stuff against him. But yeah, we already knew that Hologram, Dustin Rhodes, and Sammy Guevara was going to win just because look how they've been building up Hologram like fucking Collision is his show.
Also, Tony Nese doesn't win. The Premier Athletes in general.
Nor should he.
Win. Yeah.
By the way,
I like Tony Nese. But
no, I don't.
He's not. He's like
even in TNA, I was never a fan of Tony Nese. Honestly, Christina loves Tony Nese. I am not a fan of Tony Nese. No, I mean no. I agree with that. Okay, so like, he's on the. Okay, obviously he's a better athlete than Dean Malenko, but he's on like the Dean Malenko scale for me. Like clearly, when the bell rings and the bell ends, he's really good. But there's really nothing else there. Yeah, there's nothing there. And you think Mark Sterling would help that out? But not really. I think Mark Sterling's actually kind of being wasted with these guys if they're never going to get dubs.
Yeah, I can see that. Because he was a lot more interesting when he was with like Jade. And
Jade,
stuff.
Yes.
When he's with people that are winning, his obnoxious lawyer shtick goes over better. There's nobody in the Premier Athletes that I'm like, oh, they suck. But there's also nobody there that I'm like, I really wish they would give them wins instead. So that's
Yeah, they're just stuck there, and if you're gonna be stuck there, you don't need one of your best managers being with them. Just give them somebody else. Like I don't know. It's just weird to me. All right, Bang Bang Gang.
Weird? Well, hold on. Does it seem weird to have Sammy Guevara, Dustin Rhodes, and Hologram in a trios doing this? I mean, I know they just teamed up on Collision or whatever, but does it seem weird to have them doing a trios match on the 0 hour when Dustin Rhodes is literally a fucking trios champion with another team?
Yeah, why didn't you just put the trios titles on the line? Yeah, I don't know. I guess the Von Erichs weren't available. I don't know.
Maybe
they already had prior engagements. Yeah, that could. Yeah, I don't know. Nobody in Chicago's gonna know who we are.
We don't leave Texas.
We wrestled for our fathers, our family wrestled for world class championship wrestling, not fucking AWA. Nobody up there is gonna know who the fuck we are. I don't know what the thought process was there. Obviously, But I do want to talk about the Bang Bang Gang defeating the Dark Order. Nice to see the Dark Order get back on pay-per-view. And also nice to see the Juice is loose, baby. Juice Robinson.
Yeah.
And I think the funniest shit, and I'm pretty sure, I'm not 100% positive, but I honestly do believe that, yes, obviously the Guns are wearing similar gear to the early Shawn Michaels after he broke away from Marty Jannetty, right? You can tell in the pants, it's the same type of symbols on the pants and shit, and the jackets that aren't really covering anything up. But I do feel that there's part of the Bang Bang Gang that are dressing like that on purpose to piss people off. Like wearing a jacket where it's literally nothing on you, and then Juice wearing a belt with trunks is some of the dumbest shit I've ever seen, and I laugh so hard. It's like I feel like they're doing it on purpose to literally rib people.
Yeah.
Who's wearing belts? Who's wearing a belt with underwear? Like if you walked outside with a belt with underwear with whitey tighties on, trunks, like that's what, like he's wearing a belt, dude. It's so funny.
That's where I keep my bullets.
I mean, like this
Yeah.
Brian Keith's got a belt on like high-waisted pants. You know what I'm saying? Like this fucking dude is wearing a belt with trunks. Where are your trunks going? How big are your trunks?
How do you feel about the Bad Apple shit versus the Bounty Hunter?
I don't like that the Bad Apple now has a Apple logo gimmick that is reminiscent of mine, but whatever. It's no big deal.
It just reminds me of what was that orange that was real big in like the early
Oh
2000s?
yeah. The one of the internet memes.
Yeah.
It used to
So
be on what, Nickelodeon?
Annoying Orange or
Annoying
whatever.
Orange, yeah, something like that.
That's what it reminds me
I
of.
mean, it's a cool logo. It's just skull head on or skull face on an apple, but it's similar to my jack-o'-lantern apple that I use for my Twitch logo. I'm not a huge fan of that.
We're gonna hire.
But
Mike
I love Brian Keith though, so I
Yeah,
like
me
Brian
too.
Keith. I love Big Bill.
We'll let you
while
have
we're
it.
out there. Actually, the only part of it I don't like is I think
Jericho.
it's not even that I don't like Jericho. I think he's just leaning too much into it that it's annoying as fuck. Like if you were leaning into it like he was at the start, that's fine. But then he got over the top with it, and I was like, nah, this ain't for me.
The problem is that he's confusing self-awareness for being entertaining. Like, yeah, we get it. You're leaning into it. We understand what you're doing. I just don't want to see it. I don't care. So yeah, that's where I'm at with it. But yeah, the Dark Order. It was cool to see them back on. I guess not pay-per-view, but a pre-show to a pay-per-view. But man, they've
fallen off
dropped a lot on the card.
on the card. Yes, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's crazy to me because you would think they would be at least trios champions at least once by now, especially that group of three for sure. But yeah, it's weird, man. I feel like ever since they moved Anna Jay off and Preston Vance off, they kind of lost all their momentum, which is crazy because those were two of the weaker ones of the group. It just felt like the group was, and then Stu twice. So that didn't help either.
Where the fuck is Roosh at?
That's a great question. I have no idea, dude. He beat Preston Vance, right? And then he was never heard from again.
Yeah, that's what made me think about it because you mentioned.
Because is he even in the Don Callis family anymore? What the fuck? Where's Trent for the Don Callis family? What the fuck's going on with Trent? Is he hurt? Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of being hurt, Sky Blue came out to give an update on her recovery because apparently she's only spooky in everywhere else except for Chicago, because that didn't make any sense. Also, even though I love Queen Aminata, like legit heart eyes for Queen Aminata, but to not have Julia Hart come back right there instead was a big miss.
I literally said that in the fucking
big miss. Dude. Why did the lights not go out when she went to go hit her with the crutch and then have Julia come back and then turn face? Because I mean, people already love House of Black anyway. I think it was a big miss not to have Julia Hart there. I mean, I don't know if Julia's hurt. I don't think she is. She's been gone forever, but I don't know, obviously, because I don't work there. But
I mean, her recovery time frame is over now, so she should be at least training again.
Yeah, I mean, even if you weren't going to enter into an immediate program with Mariah May, just let people know that you're still there. Yeah. I thought that was a missed opportunity for sure.
She doesn't have to take a bump to do that either.
No.
She could literally just come out and fucking scare her off.
Yeah, exactly. It's Mariah May we're talking about here. Yeah, exactly.
Maybe they didn't want her that high up on the card, but it's not like they're putting fucking Aminata in like a world title match anytime soon either. So.
No, I mean, if they do, it'll be eliminator. It'll be an eliminator match, and she'll lose, so it doesn't matter. So at least, I mean, a former TBS champion, a lot more credibility out the gate for Mariah May's title as well. Whereas Queen Aminata has been primarily on Ring of Honor as of late.
Well, they're doing something with Deeb and Amanada. They're setting that
Yeah,
up.
yeah, for sure.
So, yeah.
So I mean, if they're gonna have Amanada on TV going forward a lot, I'm cool with it. That's fine with me.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah,
I love him wrestle.
I thought that. I mean, fuck, dude. Julia Hart would have been so cool. That the pop would have been insane.
Yeah.
All right, and then last match on 0 Hour was Undisputed Kingdom defeating the Beast Mortos and Shane Taylor Promotions, which is one of the weirdest teams I've ever seen in my life. And then Top Flight. And I feel like we were talking about Dark Order falling down the card. What the hell's going on with Top Flight? Sometimes you got
I
Leo
don't
Rush.
know.
Sometimes you got Action Andretti. Sometimes you got Layla Gray. Sometimes you don't have any of them. Sometimes it's then you don't even have Layla Gray travel to Wembley. I guess you didn't want to spend the extra money on another Wembley ticket to have her just go be in the corner or whatever because they had a match. What the hell are they actually doing with Top Flight? It felt like they actually put some time and effort into their look and gimmick. And hey, I mean, there's not a lot of people out there that love the flight attendant thing, but
Yeah.
at least it's something.
Well,
I don't mind it on Layla
Gray.
Gray, by the way. I think that makes sense. The
Yeah.
manager doing it makes sense. Kind of like the Outrunners new manager. That makes sense. Where she's the aerobics instructor, basically, is what she is, like the Richard Simmons of the group, or what, Olivia Newton-John, physical.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like that makes sense, but
And I like Layla Gray too. When she was in the baddies and stuff, I always thought
Yeah.
that was like a pretty good.
yeah, I
switch
know
'cause
you used to
she's
say
not
on the
in ring.
show. Yeah, you used to say on the show, why don't
Yeah.
they do more with Layla Gray? Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that.
But the Top Flight outfits, they changed them to I guess more like a military jumpsuit for military pilots on this show instead of the weird pilot flight attendant whatever the fuck thing
Yeah.
they
So,
were doing
but then
before.
you also have the infantry already, though.
Yeah, they need to just come out in fucking bomber jackets. That's what it needs to be. It needs to be Top Flight bomber jackets with fucking if they really wanted
Kind of like what
they really
FTR did
wanna-
for a while.
and give them the aviation goggles.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah,
That'd be
do
cool.
something.
Especially
Like,
have him do the Grandmaster Sexay shit where he puts the goggles on before he does the finishing move off the top rope for Dante. Yeah, that'd be sick.
There's a lot of things they could do with it, but the weird white button downs were not it. But they seem to be getting closer to what people want. I guess.
Yeah, I mean, at least
The-
they're doing something for sure. At least
Yeah.
they're trying shit instead of just being stagnant or whatever. But I still don't think it helps when you're still losing on 0 Hour shows too. I mean, at least the team that they lost to is the most
Yes.
together team.
Kingdom. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So at least that's there.
I don't hate the Beast Mortos pairing with.
Please
That's
tell
the
me
thing.
why, because it literally looks so weird. It makes no
They
sense.
explained. They said so when they were backstage.
I saw the interview or promo or whatever because they were with He was with Undisputed
Yeah.
Kingdom, and now
He said.
he shouldn't be with either one. It makes no sense.
No, Shane Taylor literally said, "Look, we're paying him more money. and
Oh
he
my
cares
god,
about
he's
money."
not fucking Brian Keith. He's not a bounty hunter. He's just a fucking wild boar, dude.
Everybody there gets paid to wrestle.
Oh my
They're
god,
not all bounty hunters.
they get paid by Tony Khan first of all.
Yeah, now he's getting paid by Tony Khan and a bonus from.
Oh
Shane
my
Taylor
god,
Promotions.
no. First of all, Shane
Wait,
Taylor
what does this
Promotions doesn't
mean?
have that much money.
How do you know?
Dude, the Shane Taylor Promotions fucking consists of Anthony Ogogo, who doesn't do shit, and fucking Lee Moriarty.
Boxing persons are real big. Shane Taylor.
Are you fucking kidding me right now?
No.
This is kind of like when you do the memes online where it tells you only have $15 and you got the 3 different or 4 different
Yeah.
rows. They went straight to the bottom row because that's all the money they had. They had less money than other people that play
Yes.
the game.
But Beast Mortos is not on the bottom row.
Come on, dude. Yes, he is. Yes,
What do
he
you
is.
mean?
He doesn't
No,
even
he's
win
not.
his matches one-on-one. What are you talking about?
He just won at Where did he win? He didn't win it.
It
for
wasn't
the boys.
AEW.
Yeah, no. He's
Okay,
won
then.
before.
All right.
He's won before.
Oh, yeah, no shit. He's won before. Main pay-per-view show.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. What you think about them starting with MJF versus Daniel Garcia? Did you like that or no?
Oh yeah, he beat Blake Christian.
Ooh,
What?
Blake Christian, really, dude?
All heart, baby.
MJF defeated Daniel Garcia on the first match of the main card. What did you think of them starting off with MJF versus Daniel Garcia?
It was an interesting choice because you knew there was going to be blood from the head thing, right? So just starting off the pay-per-view with a blood spot.
Well, they were gonna have blood anyway, just because of the way the shit was built up. But do you like that? Is that why you like that it started off? Because you already knew there was gonna be blood in the last two matches?
Sets the tone. No,
Hell, there's blood in a lot of matches actually. Statlander, Willow.
I think the booking made sense because MJF still stays in a relatively high place on the card, but Garcia gets one over on him while losing to bullshit.
Yeah.
Still ends up leaving on top, can still advance on the card, and MJF can like take some time off or do like a my neck hurt injury angle for a little bit, but it doesn't really hurt either one of them's place on the card. So I liked it for that reason. Like MJF still gets his comeuppance and whatever, but he's still technically got the win in the win-loss column. So it kind of works, I guess. You can't do that forever with Garcia though. He's got to start getting like real wins at some point.
Yogi's Elevate rather says AEW never disappoints with pay-per-views. I concur. I think there was only one pay-per-view that I ever gave like a B- to, and everything else has been A or above for their 5-year history. It's insane.
It's because you're a fucking shill.
I am a shill. I forgot how much money Tony Khan pays me as he steals all my ideas for free. All right, so yeah, after the match, so MJF obviously offered Daniel Garcia a handshake, and we all knew it was bullshit. He blocked it. He saw it coming, whatever. Then he grabbed him and took him out with the power driver off the second rope, which is what MJF had done to him, which was cool. So that's what Ryan is referring to there. So he
just makes MJF look dumb though. Like, what do you need to kick him in the dick for again? You already won. Just leave.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, I don't understand that either. But it's whatever. There's some stuff I didn't understand, and we'll get to it a little bit later as well. They're like, I really wish we did an all-in review because Hook pissed me off. Hook pissed me off. Who the fuck goes into a 3-versus-1 battle knowingly with one eye, knowing that they're going to fuck you up on an FT rules match, and then in the middle of the match take it off and be like, I could see the whole time. See, I'm a genius. No, fucking stupid.
Here's what also pissed me off about that is Moxley did the exact same fucking thing in his program with Jericho. Remember?
Yeah, but he wasn't already getting beat up. That was during the like the contract signing or whatever. Yes, when he was getting the car or some shit. Yes, it wasn't during the match.
But no, he did the I can still see reveal during the match. This was a long ass time ago.
No, it was the Jericho shit, right?
Yeah, it was the Jericho shit with the spike in the eye or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a long time ago, but he did the same thing, and it seems like
it was in the middle of the match too.
Yeah,
but at least that was one-on-one. Yes, wasn't that one-on-one though?
But it was like Proud and Powerful were there too, because
because it's the inner circle, correct?
Yeah. So this is like it was pretty much the same shit. It's like you knew you were gonna get ganged up on, and you still played the I'm just pretending to be blind.
Hook,
shit
bro. Like that shit was so dumb. And then Taz on commentary I was like, hey, he worked him. That's so good. No, that was stupid.
No, it's not.
It was so dumb. I think the only person that's ever done the blind thing right was Sandman. Sandman, when he came back from ECW and had the tape over both of his eyes, before the shit, there was no match. He just comes out and he takes it off and then starts beating the shit out of, I want to say Raven.
It was probably Raven.
With the with the kendo stick. I want to say it was Raven. I don't know for
Raven,
sure.
When we get to this fucking Jack Perry match, oh my god.
He is Raven. Jack Perry is Raven.
The same
I love it. I love Raven.
People were complaining about it in the chat room, and I was like, bro, y'all are crazy. Because I don't give a shit if it is almost the exact same thing. It's sick as fuck.
He's Raven, dude.
I love it.
It's great.
Yeah. All right, we're skipping ahead.
All right, yeah. All right. So anyway, let me say, what's up, Joseph? The opening match was great. The only match that was meh was the Mercedes versus Sheeta. Now, are you saying that because wait? Are you saying that because Mercedes won, or are you saying it because the match was actually meh?
Compared to the other matches on the card, it was the weakest match. That wasn't 0 Hour. I'll stand by that. 100%. He's right.
Okay.
But you already know I'm not a big Mercedes guy, so there is that too.
Yeah, that's true. And I won't say I'm a huge Mercedes guy, but I do like Mercedes. I do think she gets way too much hate online, honestly. By the way, speaking of let's going off about all, you know what? Fuck All In or All Out right quick. All In. Let's talk about that fucking Mercedes Britt Baker match. Why is that match getting so much fucking hate online?
I have no idea. People are acting like Britt's like the worst fucking wrestler on earth for that match. And I watched that shit And the parts that everybody's calling out was like, oh, she's acting so slow, like she's selling her fucking back. She's selling her back the whole match. It's to set up to the fucking finish. What do you
Literally
mean?
sold her back. Mercedes, every move she did to fucking Britt was on her back. And then everything Britt did, whether it was moving slow, which she was doing clearly on purpose, which these could have been things that they did just to protect because she hasn't had a match in forever anyway. But even so, it made sense with the storytelling of the match. The amount of hate that match is getting, whether you're a Mercedes hater or a Britt hater, and there's a lot of them on both sides for some reason, and trying to force feed, oh, it was their fault that this match wasn't good. It was a slower match, but the fucking craziness of telling me that was a bad match is like asinine.
It's like a 3.25 out of 5, but that's not a bad match. And people are crazy about that. I saw people bitching about that, and I'm like, bro, y'all are out of your minds. It was not a bad match.
What? Britt is hurt again because of Monet? No, I'm talking about the all-in match. The all-in match, she was not hurt. But throughout the course of the match, the storyline that they were telling was Mercedes was attacking Britt's back.
Her back.
And then she was selling the back the entire match. The fucking match worked perfectly. The match was so good.
People were pointing out something that like it was a fucking botch on Britt, and I was like, no. I forget what it was now, but I watched it and I was like, no, that's Mercedes' fault. It was the sunrise off the top.
Can we get a new finisher for Mercedes, by the way? I think that's one of the things that's really holding her back is her finisher.
The gory special or whatever.
Yeah. Into the
it's awkward.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, so it was the sunrise that she stole from Adam Cole. When the person that's taking that is supposed to know to do the flip as the feet land. But she like waited a beat and then flipped. That's on Mercedes. That was not
Joseph, we're talking about the all-in match at Wembley that they had first because
we got way off fucking topic because
because we haven't been around for a while.
We took like 2 months off.
Yeah,
so
for different reasons, but we didn't get a chance to review or predict all in and stuff. And I just can't stand the amount of hate that match got online. It's so annoying.
Yeah. All right.
I'm asking, is Britt legit injured? I have no idea the answer to that. They asked Tony Khan at the scrum about Britt, but he, of course, gave a non-answer. So, in fact, I was actually surprised that Tony Khan gave a legit answer to the 90% when he answered 90% for the deal thing, honestly.
Right.
Where if it was going to be done in the... All right, let's get back on topic. I'm sorry, guys. All right, so...
You're going to miss the Bengals game.
Yeah, I am going to miss the Bengals game, and I can't do that. Not week 1, baby, because if we lose today, my season's over. So... AEW, they're literally going against the Patriots, who have the worst odds to win the Super Bowl in Vegas. So if they lose today, I'm fucking done.
All right, Young Bucks.
Yeah, Young Bucks. Let's talk about the Young Bucks retaining against. I mean, see, the thing is with the Young Bucks in this is we already knew that the Young Bucks were going to retain, right? Just like I knew that Okada was going to retain. The more interesting thing about this is obviously later on in the show.
Right.
Right, because they mentioned it on the pre-show thing that they do now with RJ City and Matt Menard, and I believe this one had Lexi Nair on it. So they were talking about, hey, did that have something to do with them turning on Danielson? But we'll get into that later. Young Bucks obviously was the right call, though, because this had a literally 4-day build.
That, and also you've already got Dustin, who is a trios and tag champion with the ROH stuff. And doubling up the trios and tags constantly, I don't really like, so I'm fine with him not holding both.
You talking?
Okay.
Was that a shot at Dustin Rhodes out of nowhere? Was that a shot at Dustin? Was that a shot at Mr. Ring of Honor?
No.
The hell's wrong with you, guy?
Let me know when he wins the pure title.
All right, you want to talk about great matches? Now, I think it was Joseph.
Speaking of the pure title, hold on.
What about it?
Title I just mentioned during this match. Fucking I forget who it was, but somebody kept fucking with Nigel, saying that Wheeler Yuta was the one who put the pure title on the map and shit. He was like, "Don't say that again."
Oh shit, that's funny. Britt and Monet do not legitimately like each other. Many spots that they were supposed to do in that match didn't happen. Britt did very well in the match, but Monet did not and killed the match. See, I don't think either one did bad. I think the whole sandbagging thing is bullshit too. I don't think she was sandbagging.
She selling her back, and Mercedes.
She was selling her back, dude. Like I think the match was good. I don't give a fuck what nobody says.
I wouldn't say it was good, but it was fine.
I would say it was good.
It was fine. All right. So
I think 3.5 is good. Yes, out of 5, I would give it a 3.5.
I guess at 3.25.
Oh, that's what you gave it?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're pretty close then.
It's still not bad. Yeah.
All right.
All right,
Anyway,
Ospreay and Pac-
now, all right, let's talk about it. Now, this is the match that Ryan probably creamed his jeans over. Will Ospreay versus Pac. It's two of his favorite people. It's two of your favorites. We all know it. Did they have the match that you expected them to have?
Yeah. It was a
So,
good match.
okay.
Yeah, I kind of wish I had gone to this match.
I was gonna say when they announced the match, but it was too close though, wasn't it?
I thought
Wasn't
about
it too close to Showtime when they announced it? That's one of the main problems with All In versus All Out being 1 week last year and now 2 weeks this year. There's not enough
If they
time.
had announced that like a month ahead of time, I probably would have gone.
Yeah.
Probably would've gone.
Are we? I mean, obviously now BCC is going to be involved with some other bullshit, but wouldn't it have been more? I mean, do you really want to throw Ricochet into the fire? But Will versus Pac versus Ricochet is what I thought initially was going to happen when he came out and gave him the Poison Rana to begin with, and I was like, oh shit. That would be insane, but then they just had it as Ospreay versus Pac, and I guess they're setting up now for Ospreay versus Ricochet based off of their stare down backstage and shit.
It seems like they're putting it off because he was like, "Go win some fucking matches first. Don't just come at me straight."
Can't wait till Prince Puma versus Will. I know somebody that loves some Prince Puma that was hoping that he came out as Prince Puma during the best match of second best match of All In.
Everything else was forgettable. Boy,
Forgettable? Willow versus Stat?
You think Ospreay versus Pac was forgettable? Shut the fuck up. Get out of here. What are you talking about?
He said Will versus Pac was a great match.
Oh, well then what do you mean?
Will versus Pac was a great match.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't see his ones before that.
MJF versus Garcia was a great match. Swerve versus Page was a great match. Everything else was forgettable. See, I disagree. I think Willow versus Statlander was better than MJF versus Garcia.
I do too. I thought the 4-way was really good too.
Yeah, but the only reason, I mean, because the 4-way was like, we already knew Okada was going to retain, though. We're getting way too close to the C2 now that Okada's having that title during the C2.
I think Takeshita beats him for it, though.
In the final?
Mm-hmm.
That'd be sweet.
That seems like what they're building toward. So,
all right.
Couldn't get it done in the G1, so let's try the C2.
So I got, as my favorite 4 matches, Ospreay and Pac, and then the next one that we're going to talk about right here, the Chicago street fight between Statlander and Willow was insane. What are we talking about here?
I missed a little bit of this one. I had to replace an electrical receptacle in my wall. So
that would do it.
To do that.
That would do it, guy.
And watch this at the same time. It was kind of weird. So I ended up watching this one on like mobile data and shit on my phone while I was doing that. So I did like this match though. There were some interesting spots in it. I thought the thumbtack spots were good.
Creative,
something that
new,
kind of gets overplayed a little bit. They did a couple new things with it, so I like that.
And of course, AEW doesn't have too many light tube spots, so that was insane.
Yeah, the light tube spot up on the ramp.
Not only do they not have that many light tube spots, because I think they've only done it a few times with Jimmy Havoc, and then they had it with Nick Gage when he had the match with Jericho.
Mm-hmm.
But not only that, but then to have the women do it is something you definitely don't see a lot of in AEW, if at all. So that could have been like a first for them too.
Anywhere. There's not a lot of. There's definitely none in WWE really.
Oh yeah, I was about to say, what do you mean anywhere? Well, Sage Sin fucking uses light tubes every match, but
right. But yeah, as far as like mainstream American companies go,
they don't definitely not women for sure.
Hardcore women's matches,
correct.
But every time AEW does one, it fucking hits. I don't think there's been a bad one.
Yeah, as long as it makes sense. And I think that's Tony Khan's main thing. Is like we're not just gonna go out there and do shit just to do it. It has to make sense within the confines of the match and the stories and shit like that. And for the way that the Statlander versus Willow was built up, that makes the most sense to me. You weren't feeling the build up between them. I feel like it was the better build.
Yeah, I thought it was a better build than Mercedes and Sheeta, for sure. But hey, he didn't say he was feeling that one either, so whatever. Maybe I'm putting words in your mouth. But as far as other women's matches on the card, I felt like that was the best built one. It had the longest history between, and they made it make sense with the sit down with Renee and everything too, as far as Stat originally turning on her because she didn't feel like anybody cared when she lost her belt, but everybody was supposed to be
Yeah,
like,
I mean, the
behind
two
Willow
matches that had the
Ospreay
most build going into this specific pay-per-view were MJF and Daniel Garcia and Statlander versus Willow, and it's not even close.
well, Paige and Strickland.
Oh, well, yeah, but that's never going to go away. They're still building up.
Right. Yeah.
Did you see my tweet? Did you see my tweet?
Inning number 3.
Did you see my tweet about that? I said, with Halloween coming up, the next logical step is to have Jigsaw appear on the video and have them locked in a room, and then whoever wins, the other one dies in some tragic way. Because like that's the next step. Like, what the fuck are they doing to each other, dude? It's crazy.
Save that for the retirement angle. All right. So-
Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So we talked about.
Well, Statlander winning.
Yeah, you like that?
I didn't hate it.
One
No,
of
I
the
thought
weirdest
it-
things. One of the weirdest things to me, and things that make you look so bad as a quote unquote, wrestler on TV, professional wrestler, whatever, is when you win the opportunity to choose your own match and then you lose the
that
match.
match,
Like, that sucks, dude. That does not make you look good.
I'm glad they didn't do that with Paige. You know what was funny about the well, we'll get to it actually. Shit, I need to stop skipping ahead. But there's so many things like that connect to other things on the same
Correct.
card. Because Paige is the one that picked the steel cage match, and then while he's in the fucking steel cage, realizes, oh, I can't do a buckshot lariat because it's fucking steel cage. So that was interesting.
Well, I mean, and then after that was when after that match was when Will Ospreay and Ricochet had met backstage or whatever, and then he told Ricochet to get some wins under his belt before he tries to come for the international title, basically. And Ricochet said, "Okay, I'll do that." So he's already got one, obviously, against Fletcher, but it'll be interesting to see how that goes.
4-way.
Maybe they'll put Ricochet and Ospreay in the C2. Maybe we'll get a really good version of C2 this year, like we did with the Casino Gauntlet match at fucking All In. Like, just straight up fucking everybody in this match could win. It was insane. That was my favorite Gauntlet match, by the way.
You like the ending too?
No, the ending sucked, but everything else was great. No, the ending was stupid. You literally came out with Luchasaurus on the fucking Titantron and still didn't. The turn was there. That was when you should have done the turn.
He's conflicted.
He's not conflicted. He's been conflicted for fucking 6 months.
He's conflicted.
Don't start your shit with me.
Look, 6 months is not a long time. We've been alive 65,000 or a million years. So, the 4-way match, Okada.
I'm about to mute you on here. Is what's about to happen. I'm about to fucking mute. I'm about to mute you with your bullshit.
I'm sorry for understanding the relative nature of time.
I know. Well, how long has he been a wrestler though? In those 65 million years.
Depends on what you count as wrestling.
And how long did he have a father?
Right, wrestling old cavemen.
So Christian hasn't been his father for very long either. Then if you're basing off that.
Did Christian say that he's his father? I feel like he reserves the father thing pretty much for Nick Wayne.
I don't fucking know, dude. I don't know.
He could be a patriot.
That Leonard needs to lose Stokely. See, I think they just need to do better stuff with Stokely, because they don't seem to be gelling as far as she's super serious and that he's supposed to be a funny heel. It doesn't really go together.
I think they're almost trying to do the Nana Swerve dynamic, but it doesn't work as well because Swerve is always.
I do like the intro, like for when he says every day is or every night is Saturday night when she comes out. I do like that part, and then it just kind of he doesn't really do anything because he's like a Jimmy Hart where he's not going to get involved because he doesn't want to get his ass beat.
I think the issue is that Statlander can do comedy too. So trying to do the same dynamic as Nana and Swerve have doesn't really work as well. Because she can already do that without him. If that makes sense. I like Stokely though.
I mean, I like Stokely too, and I like his references, and I think he's actually a funny dude or whatever. But yeah, I'm not really feeling the Stokely thing right now either. I actually thought that they were gonna make it where Willow was gonna be the one to turn on Stat because of the way that they brought Stokely in. Yeah, I thought that was be like a really big swerve on everybody. That would have been crazy. I think that might have worked.
It did seem like Stokely was the one causing Statlander to lose during the build up to that too.
Yogi's Elevate is asking who our favorite wrestler is. All right, so before we get into the Fatal 4-Way, Ryan, I can tell you Ryan's, but I can't tell you mine. How about that? Does that make sense? Ryan's favorite. You got no. First of all, don't start your shit. Don't start your bullshit on this fucking show.
Japanese legend.
His favorite wrestler, like active wrestler or of all time. There's a difference. I assume that you mean like right now. So right now it's for me it's Danielson, which is why I said that if he ended up losing, I was gonna have Robert leave my house when he was watching it because I was gonna cry. Because if he lost at All In, I was gonna be over. It was gonna be over for me.
Perry deserved it though.
I said at All In, genius.
Oh, okay. If I had to pick one right now, because Omega's out, I'd probably say Pac.
Well, see, that's the thing with Jimmy Hart. He had the megaphone as the gimmick. Bill Alfonso had the whistle. Stokely doesn't really have any of that stuff because he's quiet at ringside, and then he also doesn't get involved. So it's weird. He has nothing to distract people with, etc. Active. Okay, so I know Ryan likes Osprey. I know Ryan likes Pac. I know Ryan likes Omega, and I know he likes. I'm forgetting one. Who's the other one I'm forgetting? Your main.
Pac, Omega, Osprey, main.
Maybe that is it. Takeshita, is he up there?
Takesha's getting up there for sure.
Those are like his people. I like Danielson. Claudio's pretty high. Penta's high for me as favorite.
Gunther's up there.
Yeah, Gunther's pretty up there.
Gunther matches. Yeah.
Yeah. Those, I would say those are mine. I was a huge Malachi fan for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Still am, obviously, but I mean, as far as favorite, like if I had to narrow it down, he probably wouldn't be my answer. But Penta, Danielson,
Yeah, Penta too. Yeah. Outrunners.
Outrunners. I like a lot of people, but no, they're not.
youngest men alive,
I'm not
baby.
picking the Outrunners. That's my favorite.
Why?
They're great because we all know.
Vascular.
We all
The
know.
youngest men alive.
We all know that I love the throwback tag teams like the Outrunners and FTR and Iron Savage type shit, where it's just like old school shit. But
Everything in the chat says, you guys thinking about wrestling all day, every day. Go do some else fun. Your whole life revolve around fake wrestling show, brother. I am in a
Where's that
4-year
at?
degree program right now, and I am also a project manager at a Fortune 500.
I didn't even see that pop in.
I have a.
Did something
Like,
pop
what
in?
do you mean? You have no idea what my hunting season is about to start. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, brother? I have a lot of hobbies.
Curvin
actually.
Abrew.
Yeah.
Whole life
Oh,
revolve
shit.
around wrestling. Real
Oh,
sad.
you gotta change it to live chat instead of top chat because his.
Oh, I'm not
his
even
chat
signed
was-
in. I'm not signed in.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, I didn't want to mess up the
get, like,
OBS. It
top
says
chat.
sign into chat. I don't want to chat. So I mean, I'm
Gotcha.
chatting out loud is what I'm saying. So it's a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
bit of a delay on mine. All right, so Curvin, which is not a real name,
No, it is. It was pretty close to Kerwin, who was Chavo Guerrero.
he either
Was-
misspelled his own name or
Yeah.
I mean, he already doesn't know how to use punctuation, or capitalization, so we already know that's part of it. And then you have a Miami Heat logo as your icon. Maybe you should not have your whole life revolve around fucking NBA basketball. Real sad, especially a sorry team.
His last name's real because it's Portuguese. I know that because my girlfriend's Portuguese.
Whole life revolve around wrestling. Real
I
sad.
believe. Yeah. It's-
Because
it's
because
funny, though.
this is our first show in 2 months, so our whole
months,
life
I
revolves
know.
around
It's
wrestling.
the
What
first
an
show we've
idiot,
had in
dude.
2 months, but it's my whole life, bro.
The whole fucking YouTube is based off of wrestling. It's literally a MonsterCast, and you're gonna come in here and whole life revolve around wrestling. Oh shit! When I'm going live, yeah, it does. When I'm going live on this channel, yes, it does.
For this hour.
So
it
I guess my
does.
whole life revolves around video games. Whenever I go live on Twitch, and
My
then
whole life revolves around college, my job.
my whole life revolves around my
acting,
40 hours a
powerlifting,
week at work,
making
and
fun.
then my whole life revolves around the 4 dogs that I have. And
My
man,
whole life, bro.
I have a lot of lives
Jesus,
going
bro.
on. It's fucking brutal.
Ugh.
Thank
My-
you for
my
the reality
activism.
check, Curvin.
Yeah, I'm gonna go rethink my whole life.
Get the fuck out my
And by-
chat.
And by rethink my whole life, I mean just think about Pac. God, what a handsome man.
That's all I think about is how many wrestlers I like. I was literally answering someone's question, but okay.
Oh, they don't get to us. It's just funny. Okay, so
All
back on
right.
topic.
Oh my god.
Mercedes
Oh my
and-
god. Where's
Mercedes and Sheeta, these
Konami,
fake
you wanna
fucking
get on?
wrestlers?
Konami? Come here, buddy.
Ugh.
Come here.
Ugh,
You wanna get on? You wanna get on?
they're
Come
so
on.
funny.
Come on. My whole
If
life
anything,
revolves.
My whole life revolves
Oh,
activism.
My
more than
whole
anything.
life revolves around Konami.
Look at that big boy.
Oh, there's Ripley,
Um,
the new rescue dog. I don't know if you can see her in the corner right there. Yeah, sweet girly. She can't get up here. She's too damn big.
Hmm. Anyway,
My whole life revolves around. And what's our next match?
we're on Mercedes versus.
No,
Sheeta,
we're
which
on the
should be a-
4-way.
Oh, I thought we just talked about it.
Did we talk about the 4-way?
I thought so. Maybe I mean I think we mentioned it, but I
Yeah,
don't
we
think
mentioned
really talked about it. So they're clearly setting up for like a Takeshita versus Okada singles, which is good. That's
Watch
what I
out.
want to see.
Watch out.
It was a little sad to watch old Chaos stablemates go one-on-one with the Okada and Cassidy.
The
in a
dog I
match
was
match.
holding up is an English bulldog. It's Konami. He's a boy. The one that was in the corner, that's a American bulldog. That's Ripley, and that's a she. We've only had her for about 3 or 4 weeks. But go ahead.
So the Don Callis stuff. Where the fuck is the rest of the Don Callis family? I
I
haven't
don't know.
seen.
Well, Hobbs
Fletcher.
is supposed. I think Hobbs is coming back soon.
Yeah,
I
he
read
posted
that
an
somewhere
update.
that he's coming back soon. Yeah.
He posted a
So
picture of him in the gym. He looks a lot leaner.
no Trent.
Right. Where's Fletcher?
Fletcher's probably fucked up from Ricochet. That was the main event of Dynamite, right? So.
Yeah. Where's
And
Roosh?
then, yeah, where's the fuck is Roosh? Yeah, that's the other one. So Roosh.
Like, everybody's gone except for Takeshita.
I don't get Cassidy team. Your thought? Oh, are
Like
you?
the conglomeration? Like you don't get.
Well, the
faction?
whole thought process is that O'Reilly knows that he's not good on the mic or charismatic, so he throws it over to Briscoe just to say wild random shit like it's the fucking early '90s WWF. That's literally the gimmick because Cassidy barely says anything. O'Reilly knows he's not.
He doesn't talk English at all.
Yeah, and Ishii doesn't really talk English ever. So that's the gimmick is that Mark Briscoe is literally like the worst possible vocal leader of all time, and they lean into that.
That's our spokesman right there, buddy.
Yeah, that's the gimmick.
The toothless chicken
That's
farmer.
the gimmick.
He had some cool spots in this match, though. Briscoe did. I thought the whole match was good.
Now, do you think that Okada holds the title all the way down to C2 as well, and then vacates it to do the C2? Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I don't see. Why would you this close? Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
And it gives him a good opportunity to be like dominant in the tournament.
Tournament. You had it right if you're curving.
Tournament.
That's how Curvin talks. So
Hell,
you got it right.
Come on, he's Portuguese. He can't help it. Hey,
Wait, I didn't come in his fucking chat. I don't give a shit.
Listen, I will. If Curvin's still here, I have a question since you're Portuguese.
He only said that one thing and got out. He's not here. I assure you. There's no way he's here.
I have a question about soccer that no fucking Portuguese person can answer. My girlfriend's family hates this question. But
ask away.
If the goalie is allowed to put his hands on the fucking ball and nobody else is allowed to put his hands on the ball,
why doesn't he just run all the way to the other goal?
Just run to the other fucking side and throw it in the net.
Is there
Nobody
not
can take it from you?
So they watch soccer and there's not an actual rule that says they can't cross a certain, like they can't cross the half field or whatever the fuck.
There probably is a rule. I just like asking them that.
They really don't know the answer.
No, they just get mad.
Oh, okay.
They act like I should already know the answer.
Yeah, I mean, then they could just come back to you if they gave a fuck enough and did any kind of research and be like, well, why the fuck does Hook have a fucking eye patch on halfway through a match of getting his ass beat by three people and then magically think he can see and now he can could fight again?
But I have an answer for that. It's because Hook's fucking.
It's not. Well, that's what the fuck is not a genius. Not a genius guy. I mean, the coolest part about that whole thing was the Taz intro, which I really wish they had the whole Taz song. That would have been sick. But the other thing is Taz didn't even come out with them. Taz was on commentary, and Taz was not on commentary the match before. So why didn't Taz just come out with him for the thing? Do they think it would have? Do they think it would have jumped the shark on him getting involved? Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know.
Because the only people that really knew he was going to get involved is if you were paying attention to the match and his commentary. Like, you kind of knew that he was going to get the fuck up and get involved because nothing was changing. Nobody was coming out to help Hook.
Or Hulk.
Or Hulk. No one should come help Hulk.
No, he should be helped into his fucking deathbed. So we got Mercedes versus Sheeta.
All right, so we talked about this, obviously, with the chat. Mercedes and Sheeta, right? So...
weakest match on the card, but still not a bad match.
I don't think it was bad. I mean, it was. I don't think I like Britt versus Mercedes better because that had more build up, obviously, and because they told a better story throughout the match. I think. Now, I do like Sheeta. Like, I don't understand what everybody's problem with Sheeta is either. Like, I feel like people are starting to turn on her too.
Well, hey, Sheeta.
One, her English has gotten way better. Her promos are so good right now. Two, she's way more aggressive than she was before, so she's not happy-go-lucky. It's kind of like a smaller version of the transition that Bailey made from the hugger to the role model. If that makes sense. It's like a lower scale version of that, because that was a drastic change, obviously. That was one spectrum to the other. Whereas Sheeta was still doing, like, she hasn't really changed her in-ring work except for, like, she's not going to, like, if somebody fakes an injury or something, she's not going to let them get up. She's just going to keep attacking them type shit. Like, she does not give a fuck. She wants to win. She considers
More
herself
aggressive.
the ace, which I believe she is the ace of the women's division, honestly, if we're being real. Unless Athena ever gets called up. Then we'll have a conversation about that. But yes, I think Sheeta is the ace. Who do you think it is, Tony? Or Hayter?
No, neither one of them.
Hayter didn't have the title long enough. I think Sheeta is. I think Sheeta's the ace for sure.
Not Riho.
No. Fuck no. How can you be the ace and you're never there?
Ask fucking Tanahashi.
Tanahashi was there when he was the ace.
They still call him the ace, and man wrestles like once every 3 months.
That's not his fault.
It is his fault.
That's
'cause
not his
knees are
fault.
shot.
Just the ace thing doesn't. Okay, so who? Okay, so who in New Japan is the ace to you right now? Then
Master Wato.
Jesus Christ! Oh, like a real answer, dude.
Yoda.
You think Yoda is the ace when they just let Zack Sabre Jr. beat him in the G1?
Yeah.
No.
Aces can lose.
Yeah, I didn't say they couldn't, but he's getting
Okay.
more pub than fucking. Yoda might be the future ace, but he's not the ace right now.
Oh, I thought that's what you. Oh, like I don't think they have one right now.
Exactly. That's why it's Tanahashi still.
No, I mean you could just not have one.
No, you have to
Then-
have one.
Nah.
Once you
that's
have
not
one,
what
you
it
have to. You can't just be like, no, there's no ace now.
I think you can.
The ace is vacated. No, that's not how that
Yeah.
works. It's not an actual
Yeah, you
title.
can. Right. Which is why nobody needs to have it.
Yes. Well, that no one needs to have it until Tanahashi loses it.
He lost it when he lost his fucking knees.
No, come
that
on.
doesn't mean somebody else
Tanahashi
taking
is the
it.
ace still.
Or
Sorry,
Master Wato.
it's not
Or,
Master Wato. It will never be a fucking junior heavyweight.
What's fucked up is that
If Liger was never the
Tongaloa-
ace, then it's not going to be him. Dude, what?
Tongaloa was the ace, and then he left
Jesus
too.
Christ.
So now,
Dude, I got 5 minutes before my game starts, and you're talking about fucking Tongaloa on my fucking show, dude.
listen. I'm
What's
sorry,
with
but
Hater's
it's-
attire? I actually like Hater's attire. I think it helps her pop more, honestly.
No, I'm with him. I didn't like it. It was a little too.
Oh, you talking about for this specific show? Or are you talking about like the peacock shit that she's been wearing, like the Mardi Gras colors?
Yeah, I'm talking about that color shit.
I don't mind it. I think it makes her pop more, like with the red hair type deal. I think against the white skin, against the pale skin.
I don't like, it makes her look like one of them, those weird little dolls that we had when we were growing
Guys,
up.
the best women's wrestler in AEW right now is Britt. No one else is close to her level right now. See, I disagree. I think Sheeta is better than Britt. I also think
Willow's
Serena
better
Deeb
than
is
Britt.
better than Britt. Do
Yeah,
what?
Willow, Deeb, Sheeta, probably Statlander, definitely Hater, Tony Storm for sure, Mariah May.
No, Mariah May is not better than Britt.
Boy,
She's not better than Britt,
Really?
dude. Yeah, really. I don't even think she should have beat Tony Storm, honestly. But
I think you're a fucking hater. All right.
I don't
But
think so. I think Britt's good, and I think she might be. I think she might be their best on the mic as far as the women's division, but she's not. She's not better than Sheeta, dude. She's not better than Sheeta. Sheeta is the ace. I don't give a fuck. I respect your opinion, but Sheeta is the ace.
Yuka, whenever she gets back.
No, dude, you can't use people who aren't there. Britt's just been out
Nope.
for fucking 2 years. Sheeta's the
Nina?
ace. Sheeta never took an extended period of time off. Got the most fucking world championships in the fucking thing,
Oh, no,
and never had.
I'm still talking about people that I think are better than Britt.
But the conversation, I believe, why he said, "Guys, the best women's wrestler in AEW right now," is because we're having the ace conversation.
Oh, you think Britt's the ace?
I don't think Britt's the ace.
I'm talking about him, bro, not you.
No, I know. I'm just saying. You're not getting this at all. There's some confusion going on here. I'm
apparently.
directly answering Joseph here that I
understand.
believe that Sheeta is the ace, and also Sheeta's better than Britt. Now, if we're having a
but the
conversation
ace
about
doesn't
who's
necessarily
better
the
than
best
Britt,
wrestler in the
there can
company.
only be one ace.
But okay, but ace is a completely different conversation.
Okay, but I'm
So-
not having. You're the one that came up with the conversation of how many people you think are better than Britt.
Yeah, no. Well,
He's saying this based off the fucking conversation of us talking about, do we think Sheeta is the ace? Joseph, tell us what you're talking about. Are you talking about? We talking about aces, or how many people are better than Britt Baker?
Yeah, I'm talking about how many people I think are better than Britt.
And are we talking about strictly in the ring or overall? Because Britt's higher up if we're talking about overall. If we're talking about in ring, Britt's going to fall down a little bit.
Surprised you're not in here fucking dick riding Saraya again.
I like Saraya. I don't give a fuck what nobody says.
Why.
I think she's good. I still think she's good. And I love the new shit with her and Harley. I think it's hilarious.
Harley's a better wrestler than
Jesus Christ.
Than Paige Saraya.
No, she's not.
Yes, she is. You know who I miss, man? I miss the fucking Iconics. I need them back.
I don't know about Tessa because that's something you have to clear with everybody that works there. You cannot bring in Tessa. I mean, I'm like, if they're cool with it, I'm cool with it. Whatever. It's been a long time. Whatever. I do know that she made up with the person that the incident took place with, La Rosa Negra, I believe her name was.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to bring her in, and then you got to remember what happened with her dad when he no-showed and he got fired too on a Ring of Honor pay-per-view. You have to clear that with a lot of people and go through and be like, hey, would you be okay with this? Would you be okay with this? Would you be okay with this? Because there's still a lot of people in the wrestling community, and now I'm not talking about fans, I'm talking about actual talent that are not okay with that. So that's something you have to clear with everybody else. But Mandy Rose, I agree with you. I saw her at the Combine thing that they did, the Wrestler Combine. I don't know if you saw clips of that or whatever. That Jordan Grace and Mojo Rawley ended up winning the men's and the women's, where they go through like all these different events or whatever, and rank. I think Dana Brooke was there. There's a few people there. It was pretty cool. Like they sent out invites, kind of like the NFL Draft Combine, but it was for wrestlers. It was pretty cool. But anyway, Mandy Rose was there, and Mandy Rose is obviously still in phenomenal shape because she was just training for a show, for an actual like weightlifting show, figure show, whatever. The ones that like Dana Brooke used to do, I assume, and the one that Jordan did. So yeah, I'm fully on board with Mandy, 100%. But the thing is Mandy makes so much money right now that would it even be worth it to come into AEW, unless she felt like her brand was teetering and then she needed to get back on TV so she can build the brand up a little bit more, and then whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like Mandy, I'm 100% on board with. Tessa, you have to literally go through everybody on the entire fucking roster, which is like 300 people, and fucking ask them if they're okay with it. And if one person says they're not okay with it, you cannot bring her in. You just can't.
So we talked about that kind of with CM Punk after the
first incident.
After the first incident, where it was like, you don't have to get everybody on board. You just have to get the majority.
The people that it involved with. Yeah.
So I don't know.
All right, let's talk about the World Championship match. Now, obviously, I did know that the cage match was going to be the main event because it's a lights out, and that's how they do things in AEW. If it's a lights out match, it's going to be the main event because it's technically not part of the card. So that makes sense. So technically, that's why they were calling this one a double main event, which makes sense. It's the only time double main event ever makes sense. Any other time, it's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. The triple main event that WWE had, that was the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Don't call it double and triple main events. I hate it. Fucking hate it. But let's talk about the match though. Danielson obviously defeats TNT champion Jack Perry to retain the title.
I've never seen anybody sell Busaiku knees like that.
Yeah, that was probably one of the best.
That was crazy.
Well, he definitely sold it better than Swerve because Swerve no sold it.
He did it. Well, yeah. Well, he no sold the one that hit him in the chest.
But I mean, he kind of sold it. Like he did. At least he fell back into the turnbuckle first. Yeah. And he bounced back up. He's like, you know what? That wasn't that bad. I'm still on my feet. Fuck you, bitch.
Fucking Nick Bruiser super punch out shit.
Yeah. Fuck him. Dust it off.
Yeah. I like this match though. Even with the interferences and shit like that, I thought it was good. It made Perry look credible. It didn't hurt him being TNT champion or whatever in a way where it's like, oh, you got fucking demolished. Now anybody should be able to come challenge you for your TNT title and win. I didn't have that impression after the match. I like the little sacrificial Raven pose, take the fucking knee thing at the end when he already realized that he had lost. I thought that was cool. The end of the match, the ending angle, Christian coming out like he was about to cash in, BCC stopping him from cashing in. then obviously they'd try to kill Danielson for whatever reason.
Then why didn't Christian come back out and fucking cash in when Danielson was almost dead?
I saw people asking that, and I've thought about that. And I think the reason is that he doesn't know for sure that the BCC
Wouldn't have come back out there?
wouldn't, because yeah, it's like to stop you. It's not to help him. So if you come back out there again, we'll fucking do it again. That's what it seemed like to me.
Yeah, because we think in BCC it's their own entity, kind of like an NWA type deal. We're not helping anybody. We're against everybody type deal. We're the only ones that want the world title, and if anybody's going to take it off of Danielson, it's going to be us because we're the ones about to make this statement type deal.
So another thing that people have been pointing out when they go back and watch it is that initially when Claudio hits Danielson, Wheeler he's not like fighting to get to Danielson to protect him or anything. He's just kind of standing there, but he looks a little confused. But he's not like seeing it as a problem necessarily. So it almost seems like the way that they're telling the story is that Wheeler might have thought that it was just like I don't know where the fuck it's happening right now, but we fight within the thing, and maybe he's challenging him to a fucking title match. Who knows? And then as soon as that bag comes out and he starts freaking out, I thought he did a really good job selling that. And people were complaining about like, why is he not trying to like fight Pac to get him? Like, why is he just being held and like struggling against being held, but he's not like elbowing him or like trying to kick him in the nuts or anything like that? Like, motherfucker, if Pac doesn't want you to move somewhere, you ain't fucking moving. Let's be realistic here.
Look at Pac and look at Wheeler Yuta. He's already got a lower center of gravity, and he's fucking 3 times the width of Yuta. Yuta's not going anywhere.
He's got him in a hold where he's like half a second away from getting exploder suplexed. Okay, so he's not going anywhere. Let's be realistic. I did note at the end though, when Claudio's walking away, Yuta shoves Claudio, and then Claudio kind of like dismisses him and kind of fucking shoves him back a little bit. It seems like where they're going with this is they're going to try to convince Yuta, like, no,
because they did the right thing. Yeah.
If they wanted Yuta out, they would just beat the shit out of him too. So it almost seems like they're going to try to be like, here's why it needed to happen. You can either fucking be with us or not. And if he decides not, then they'll just beat the shit out of him too. But it clearly wasn't like the story they're telling isn't that they were looking to beat up Yuta, obviously. So that's an interesting little thing, because you know that Danielson's the one that brought Yuta in, so he's going to have loyalty toward him, and it'll be like, can BCC convince him that there's the reason that they did this and this is why it needed to be done type shit. So that'll be interesting. I don't really know where they're going with, like, what is Moxley's problem? Just that, like, let's see, Wheeler and Claudio lost their match.
Well, I don't think, dude, not a lot of people remember. Do not a lot of people remember that fucking Danielson and Moxley had huge problems with each other before joining BCC? Before Regal, yeah. And then everybody was like, well, once Regal left, everybody was kind of like, oh shit, well, they're not going to get along for much longer. But then they did get along for obviously a long time. Maybe Moxley was secretly hoping Danielson was going to lose at All In, because obviously Moxley was the only one not there at the end for the celebration.
Mm-hmm.
Like, maybe he thought it was his time to get back on top, and it's taken too long, and he's tired of not being on top. Because I mean, the whole thing that they were fighting over before was the world title, was like who was the best in AEW type deal.
I think the problem with that though is that at that point, why wouldn't Moxley just want Christian to take the title to get Danielson out of the company?
Because Moxley needs to prove to himself and to everyone else that he's the real ace. Because he's been calling himself the ace of AEW, by the way, just in case you didn't know. Okay, well, if he's the true ace of AEW, he would have to take the title off of Danielson.
I guess.
So do we think Moxley is the one that retires Danielson?
No, I think I don't see that happening. I think the way that Danielson is, I think he's more likely to put over somebody younger or that needs the rub more than Moxley does. Moxley doesn't need it. So I don't know. Maybe we have Yuta retire Danielson.
I mean, there's a lot of people that are thinking that Darby's going to beat him, and I was like, well, he sure the hell ain't going to beat him at Grand Slam. There's no way.
He might beat him at the Washington show, though, because they're both from there.
Wrestle Dream's in October. You really think Danielson's not holding it? How long do you think this reign for Danielson's going to be? Because I thought it was going to be a decent amount.
Didn't he say Wrestle Dream was before this specific arc? Didn't he say that Wrestle Dream was going to be his last show?
Well, I
It's
don't know
been a minute.
because the rumor is that he's been working without a contract for the past couple months already.
Yeah.
But he also loves to lie
Dang.
because he learned it from Cody. So I don't know. So I don't know, guy. These are
He's
his
right, though.
words.
It is pretty fun to lie. Yeah, I don't know where they're going with this. I don't know what the reason is for Claudio turning. You know, there was that one promo where it was Claudio and Moxley alone backstage. And Claudio kept talking about like people that come out and talk about how much they love this and like how much, you know, they talk about what great
Oh, the
wrestlers
one
they
where
are and
Moxley
shit like
looked
that.
over at him like, "Oh shit, you're
Just like
fucking
smiling
spitting."
and
Yeah, you're spitting
that
right
one.
now. Yeah, I remember that one.
So I wonder if that's the whole time he was like talking about fucking Daniels.
It'll be interesting to see
Maybe.
how they go with this because I really don't know how this makes any sense. I'm glad
Yeah.
that the BCC isn't disbanding. It looks like the new BCC is just going to have Pac in Danielson's spot.
Right.
But so that's cool for merch sales and continuity as far as that goes. Yeah, and then you actually have an Englishman in the Blackpool Combat Club, which makes sense. But yeah, as far as the rest of it, man, I'm very intrigued to see where it goes because what the fuck?
I needed to make a little bit more sense than it does right now, but I like the idea of
Well, it
it
hasn't made sense since Moxley came back because all his shits that he's been talking about on the mic has been super vague. So I still don't know what the hell. I never knew what was going on when he told Tony Schiavone this isn't your company anymore. And then he got Marina
Well-
Shafir, so then it was like, was he not even in BCC? So I like that at All Out, at least he was with the BCC guys again.
Right. And Claudio being clearly on board makes sense. You know, it's kind of fucked up though, is they were wearing those white T-shirts. And I was like,
That's Danielson's thing.
Daniels and shit.
Yeah. The other
Came
thing
out there
is,
and you're fucking,
I would have liked to see Marina Shafir take out Nick Wayne's mom. That would have been awesome. Why wasn't she out there too?
Yeah. I mean, they're clearly positioning her for something pretty big too, though, because
Well, obviously
don't
we
put
already
her
know
with those
Moxley's a huge
guys.
fan of hers too, though.
Yeah, you don't put her with those guys if you're not planning on giving her a belt. So she'll probably get TBS at some
Yeah,
point.
it'll have to be TBS. But even then, I don't know if you're taking it off of Mercedes first. I think Mercedes will lose it to somebody else first, and then Marina will take it off of her because clearly BCC is going to be heel. You're not.
Well,
Mercedes
they're
is getting
heel,
fucking
so
booed.
You just have Cesaro fucking European uppercut the shit out of Camille.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. Okay.
That's
Sure
Cesaro,
thing.
I meant Claudio.
Moxley is
overrated.
overrated. I disagree. I don't think he's overrated. I don't think he's the ace. Ryan does, but I
do.
don't. I think Kenny Omega is the ace.
But he's not here.
I agree.
You
But
can't
John
have a
Moxley is
vacant
taking.
ace.
John
Didn't
Moxley's
you
been
say
taking
that?
huge breaks too. Where the fuck was
Yeah.
Moxley the last fucking 3 months? What are you talking about?
He's taking a little nap.
Don't
He's not
start
taking
your
a nap.
shit. Don't start your shit, dude.
He's taking a little nap.
Yeah,
I've seen that.
yeah, I've seen the clip,
it's not
but
your whatever. But
yeah, I've seen the clip, but like you
But
can
that
pull it.
doesn't-
But Eddie Kingston isn't the fucking lead singer of goddamn Bring Me the Horizon, and he stole one of their lyrics for his fucking promo that nobody knew apparently. When he says, "I can't drown my demons because my demons know how to swim," and everybody's like, "Oh, that's such a bar." Yeah, it sure is because he took it straight out of a fucking band's lyric. So he's not a lead singer of Bring Me the Horizon. So
your arms are too short to box with God wasn't a fucking
yeah,
CM
exactly.
Punk
It's
line
not a
either.
CM
That shit
Punk thing
existed
either.
40
Exactly.
years before that.
Yeah.
So,
So like I don't really put too much stock into that kind of stuff. Like they borrow shit all the time. It's not that doesn't mean that's what they're going to be as far as their character. If
Also, if
fucking
you-
Eddie Kingston would have came out the next week singing like Tai Chi on the goddamn microphone when he comes out to the ring, then yeah, okay, he's supposed to be the lead singer of Bring Me the Horizon, but that's not what happened.
So if you read Moxley's book, though, I don't know if you've ever read it, but
I actually have it on Spotify. I started it to make sure that it would actually work because Spotify has it on there for free, and I was like, that's weird.
Mhm.
And I started it, and it was working, but I just never went back to listen to it all of it. I think Christina actually, I bought it. I want to say I bought it for Christina, and she's listened to it.
well, what I was gonna say is he talks about movies on there a lot.
Yeah, yeah, he's a big
like
movie guy. Yeah, big movie guy.
So and he was
Not a
talking at
big
one
Kevin
point
Dunn
about
guy.
he was talking at one point about this guy who has a YouTube channel for that basically like lays out all the Jurassic Park shit. And he's like, how the fuck does anybody have time to like watch these hours long videos of Jurassic Park? But then he ended up watching it.
Yeah.
Like watching the whole fucking YouTube series. And then he was like, you know, now that I think about it, how the fuck does anybody have time to keep up with pro wrestling? Like, 'cause it's kind of the same thing. So no, he's real big into movies. So it being a movie reference doesn't mean that that's like one-to-one with the direction of the group or anything.
Correct.
They're clearly not gonna have a fucking neo-Nazi group in the AEW.
Yeah, it's not like in the NWA when they had a dude literally rip off Beetlejuice. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not that's not what we're doing here. Or WWF had Ninja Turtles wrestling on a house show. You know, it's not. I don't think it's that same connection. I understand that.
Beetlejuice right now.
I understand that people made the connection of where he got it from, but that doesn't have anything to do with the storyline. I don't think.
No.
All right, let's talk about the final match so we can get the hell out of here. Also, we're going to give our overall grade for the show. Let's talk about the lights out cage match between Swerve and Hangman. Just when you thought it couldn't get any crazier, it almost did. Even though the fans started chanting, "We want fire!" Like you haven't had enough shit in these matches that you have to have fire now too.
I said in the Triller chat at the time, I was like, the way that every other weapon spot has gone, where they've actually gotten fucking hurt on it, I don't want to see fire.
Yeah.
Because they're clearly like already hurt and tired and like kind of getting spots a little bit off.
I'm going to ask you this. I'm going to ask you this without any like implications of where I'm leaning at. Okay. We had an argument last night while we were watching it, me, Christina, and Robert.
Okay.
Which cinder block spot was worse? The one that Swerve took or the one that Hangman took?
Which one looked worse or which one feels worse?
No, which one feels worse?
That fucking the scrape.
Hangman.
Yes.
Let's fucking go. I fucking said the same shit. Everybody's like, oh no. I was like, that was fucking this close from being out 4 years, Shawn Michaels off the fucking corner of the fucking coffin. No, dude, that was way worse.
No. Yeah, no. Tell them that they need to actually go be physical with
landing flat on the cinder block is not nearly as bad as fucking scraping the fucking thing. No, Hangman's was way worse.
I promise you that Hangman feels that today in a way that Swerve does not feel the same.
Correct. Exactly. That man had no skin on his back, dude. Like, what the fuck?
If you've ever gotten scraped on fucking concrete, like, it's way worse than
Hangman's was worse.
Concrete.
For sure.
I 100% agree that Hangman's feels worse. Now, which one looked cooler and looked like it hurt a lot more?
Yeah.
That fucking powerbomb spot.
Well, it didn't look like it hurt more when they zoomed in on fucking Hangman's back 2 seconds after he took the spot. No, it doesn't. Yeah. It still looked worse. Yeah, it was like crazy.
In real time, though, getting powerbombed on that brick, everybody in the trailer.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, I understand that. And
what the fuck?
As soon as it happened, though, I was like, nah, Hangman's was worse. And they started fucking arguing with me, dude. Like, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
When he got lifted up for it, I thought for sure he's like, oh, he's gonna start punching him in the head. He's gonna fall backwards. He's gonna draw him. No, he fucking.
Well, I thought the cinder block was gonna be one of the things that we just did. I thought he purposely didn't really hit the cinder block with the vertebrae to explode it. Yeah, because of the Keith Lee thing where he exploded it by stomping on it, which is bullshit. But I thought that was gonna happen, and then it didn't fucking explode. And I'm like, oh, okay. But yeah, no, the Hangman.
I realized that shit wasn't plaster after the Hangman spot. Because none of it chipped off the side.
Yeah, because it would have came off like foam. Yeah.
I was like, that's a real fucking cinder block.
It would have came off like foam ball pieces when you take out something out of a box. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, okay, so he staples the photos to his head just like Hangman did to Swerve, so that was cool. That was a nice throwback.
Swerve is apparently immune to staples now?
Some of them, apparently.
Not used to it?
I guess. I mean, maybe he just staples himself in the meantime at the house. Maybe his whole life is wrestling. He needs to get a life.
What was like the worst like spot for you? Like when you watch it, you're like, ooh.
Okay, the worst spot for me is well the Hangman is in the top 5 for sure. Like that's not a spot I would be like, nah, fuck that. Because you're like you said, you're feeling that today. Probably more than all the other stuff.
That one chair shot across his fucking back. The real loud one.
Yeah. I mean, obviously the chair was gimmicked for the headshot, but that was crazy as fuck too. Just the noise it made.
I wish they didn't cut the camera the way they did.
Yeah, I know. They do that a lot in AEW. I don't like it either. They did that a lot during the fucking gauntlet match that was pissing me off that I tweeted about. I said, please stop fucking cutting every time somebody's about to do a fucking move.
Yeah. I think they cut on that chair spot because it would have been obvious how gimmick the chair was.
Yeah, maybe. Or they didn't know how it was going to react, so they were like, nah, don't do it in case something crazy fucking happens here. Yeah.
We'll release a better angle of it on Twitter later if it looks cool. But yeah, dude, I was like, the sound of it, this is like what was that other unprotected headshot that everybody else, the Jack Perry one?
The one that QT Marshall went nuts on the referee for because he didn't know what the fuck he was talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, got you.
So I could tell
I
immediately.
was about to say the
when I
one that
heard it.
everybody went crazy about was Sean Spears on Cody, but I get what you're saying.
Oh. But yeah, no, everybody on Twitter was like, "Oh, you can't do unprotected headshots. That's so dangerous. His hands were trained." I was like, dude, if you can't tell from that sound that that was the same cookie sheet shit
Mhm.
that they use for cookie sheet spots painted black, then you're deaf or dumb. And it was the same thing here, which is why it popped.
And it
out
works
the way
so
it
much
did,
better
and
because the
made it-
noise is what really makes
Yeah.
it anyway. So
right. So
like
yeah,
I know
I
that when
like
when Danielson slapped Swerve twice as loud as fuck at All In, that it was Danielson doing like slapping himself or slapping his leg at the same time.
Mhm.
But it sounded so fucking cool. Like he slapped the shit out of him at a stadium show where all the sound is going up and it's all you heard was the slap. Like well, that was
You know
fucking
who-
nuts.
You know who wasn't doing assisted noise on his fucking slaps on the bird was that Garcia MJF.
Yeah, well,
When Garcia slapped the dog shit out of MJF and the sweat just flew off of MJF. That was nasty.
oh, there's some of them that don't. Like we know that Eddie Kingston, Ishii, you know, shit like that. We know that
Yeah.
they're slapping the shit out of Shibata and Danielson when they slap the fuck out of each other and Danielson's whole fucking neck and chest is purple. Yeah, I mean,
That hamburger meat shit.
Suzuki and fucking Jericho, that was insane.
Mhm.
Yeah, like I know that happens, but we know that there's no because Swerve would have been knocked the fuck out for real if he would have hit him that hard in his face twice. Like that's power slap shit.
That's the hypodermic needle spot. I've seen that I've seen it on.
Do you think
a
he
couple
was
indie shows.
trying to make the fucking needle go out the other side of his mouth
yeah,
and it just
he
didn't
was.
happen?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep, he was.
You too, Joseph.
and
Thanks for stopping by, bro.
Later, man.
Hey, before
care.
you go, what grade do you give the pay-per-view overall? F through A. A, B, C, D, E, F.
He might have already left, but
Yeah, he might have.
just in case you don't, yeah, give us a grade. But yeah, dude, I liked the idea of the spot. I
The
think it would've
pay-per-view,
worked a
not
lot
this
better,
show.
honestly.
The pay-per-view give the pay-per-view a grade, not this show.
This is not a
This
fucking
show's
feedback
this show's
survey.
F plus, baby.
Yeah, we mean the pay per view. But that spot would have worked a lot better, obviously, if he would have been able to get it through his cheek. And a lot of people are like, "Oh, that's like so dangerous," and so what? Bro, he literally uncapped it from the package, so it's completely sterile.
Yeah.
And that's how they do, like the stupid little fucking snake bite or whatever the fuck they're called, cheek piercings and stuff too. So it doesn't. None of that matters. It's not. It's not a dangerous.
I will tell you the
thing.
spot I'm really glad didn't happen was when Hangman stopped Swerve from going to the fucking top to try to do a damn double stomp from the damn top of the cage. Because I was like, oh, is Adam
That's how-
Copeland not
that's
telling you
Copeland
not to
broke
do this
his
shit,
fucking
dude? Like you
Yeah.
trying to break both your fucking ankles? What the hell is wrong with you? So I'm
Yeah,
glad
it was
that
very
didn't happen.
unfortunate.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I was also glad that because if you tried to do a stomp off of that shit, he definitely would have smashed his ankles up. I thought that a table spot stomp looked really fucking good, but it was so early in the match that the crowd didn't even bite on the pin.
Yeah.
Like they got to 2, he kicked out, and nobody was like, "Oh," because everybody knew it was too early for the match to end. But it looked cool. But I feel like it was too early in the match. It took away from it a little bit. Overall, just like a crazy match. There was so much of the. You know what's funny is before Hangman even realized that he wasn't gonna be able to do the buckshot, people in chat were like, "Oh, he can't do the buckshot." I was like, "Yeah, but he's done it off of a table before, and he's done it off of a ref before, so he probably can." And somebody's like, "Oh, doing it off a ref would be crazy." And then literally like fucking
Swerve
10
did it.
seconds later, Swerve does it off the ref and fucks it up.
Yeah, Swerve's was
Because-
ugly, yeah.
Yeah, there's not a it's already a hard move to do, but
There's a
doing
lot
it
of shit
off
that
somebody
happened
else's
later on in
ref-
that match too, where it was like, yeah, well, they're fucking tired as shit. Look at what
Yeah.
the fuck they're doing to each other and how long they've been going. And I'm like, yeah, no shit. Oh, some of this is gonna look fucked up. So I mean, that's just common sense at that point. It's like, oh, is it really a botch if they're just super fucking tired? I don't think so.
So at the end,
It's
when
not
the
like they're
match
in
is
fucking
over-
Saudi Arabia trying to do a regular ass fucking finisher that they've done a million times to each other
Yeah,
and they
well,
can't
is
do
hot
it.
there. At the end,
It wasn't a fucking 30-minute match that they were having over there either.
Are we talking about Goldberg?
Goldberg and Undertaker, yes.
I don't give a shit about. Come on, they're like 80 years old. The very end when he's leaving, and he looks back into the ring and sees Swerve there, and he starts going back toward the ring. And the whole crowd freaks the fuck out. Like, no, don't do that. Do you think that he was going back to go beat the shit out of him more, or do you think he realized, like, oh fuck, he's like I really fucked him up. I should go check on him. Like it was his natural baby face, whatever
I
the
don't
fuck.
know.
And then he
I
stopped
don't know.
himself and then went
I
back.
don't know. It could have been either one, honestly. I don't know. I feel like if he was gonna go fuck him up some more, he would have actually went all the way out there and done it.
To me, I was reading it more as like he saw him and his little fucking switch flicked, and he's like, "Oh, that's that motherfucker." And he started to walk back. The crowd started freaking out, and he was like, "Oh shit! Like, no, I'm maybe going a little bit too far."
Are you okay with Hangman getting the dub, or did you want them to go the way of? I kind of wanted them to go the way of Tommy Dreamer versus Raven, where he never beats him.
No. I even said, I said before the match started, I said Hangman has to win this because it's getting too unbalanced in wins losses. And what I was worried about was that with Hangman kind of getting the one up over Swerve on the go home with the house burning thing, that they were gonna have Swerve win. But I didn't think, I think Swerve needed to not win this at all for it to make sense. I don't think you can have Hangman do the vengeful I want to fucking kill you thing and lose every time, because he just lost in the C2. For like it doesn't work.
He's
He has
lost
to win.
everything. He's lost literally everything.
Right.
But I don't know. I actually wanted Swerve to win because, like I said, see, when you have two guys that are that high, even if fucking Swerve beats him 9 times in a row and Hangman's 0-9 against him, I don't think there's ever going to be a point, especially with all the gimmick matches that they have against each other on the big pay-per-views, that I'm going to be like, yeah, I'd be shocked if Hangman wins this one. It was like the Tommy Dreamer Raven thing to me. Like I'm okay. I would have been okay with it. But I guess it's a little different when you have weekly TV though too.
That, and I feel like for their specific dynamic, it has to be more balanced than that. Like they have to feel like either one of them can win at any time because it has happened.
Do we need to have them be tag team champions together by accident, like Tommy Dreamer and Raven, and then they have to get along?
When he started walking back to the ring, I legit thought that he was going to go back in there and be like, "Oh, I forgive you. Oh, we're done. I forgive you."
Yeah, it'll be interesting. That now I don't even really know where they go. Does Swerve not let it go? Like Hangman didn't let it go, or does somebody's got to let it go?
Swerve needs to come back and be like, "I understand."
Yeah, I deserve that.
Maybe that was my bad. I went a little far.
You've been world champion. I've been world champion. You beat me. I beat you. You burned my house down. I broke and entered into your house.
Yeah.
While your fucking family was still there. Like, let's move the fuck on type deal.
Yeah. I think character-wise, I think that would make sense, and I think it would get Hangman to kind of chill out a little bit, maybe be a little bit more normal for a bit, and then maybe they could pick it back up by Swerve doing some nasty shit again. Who knows? But it always sort of leaves that open for the possibility, but it doesn't make it like the focal point of both of their trajectories for the time.
Here's the thing: is that they could hang their hats on later on, kind of like they would do with the Danielson Moxley thing, where he bided his time until he had his shot to fuck over Danielson. You do the tag team thing, and then Swerve actually still has a thing over him because Hangman cost him his title technically against Danielson at All In. Hangman lost his to CM Punk. Swerve was never a part of that. Swerve was never had anything to do with Hangman during that whole thing. So yeah, you had the world title, but I didn't cause you to lose the world title. You caused me to lose mine, though. So like, if they ever wanted to pull that switch again, is what I'm saying. They could use
like
that.
That's all part of this thing, though. It's like all that shit that happened is kind of resolved for now.
For now, that's what I'm saying. But like later on, if they ever wanted to pull the switch again, where Swerve turns on Hangman.
But what I'm saying is they don't need to make it that specific. It just be like, I remember what the fuck you did. That's it. They don't have to go into
he doesn't have to technically say it on on a promo or anything the next night. Like, oh, you know why I did that? And then it's like, because that'll seem kind of weaker or whatever. But
why they did it is.
But why would Hangman want to team up with him anyway after you saw what he did to Keith Lee? So I don't know. Are we going to get into the territory of, hey, Randy, let's be friends, knowing damn well that Randy Orton turns on every fucking body?
Or Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, Christian, Shawn Michaels, all of them do it. Like there's the 4. Yeah.
Habitual turners.
I don't know. The rest of JAS turned on Jericho. Technically, they're the ones that walked out on him last time. So, but yeah,
he deserved it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Too bad we never get that Golden Jets tag team. All right, so let's give it a grade and get the hell out of here because my Bengals are 30 minutes into their game, and hopefully they're winning.
Yeah.
All right, so grade. Go fuck yourself. Grade.
0.
Huh?
12-0.
Is it 12-0?
No, I'm just fucking with you.
Don't fuck with me, dude. They're like fucking. The spread is like 8.5. They better not be fucking down 12-0.
Fuck. A plus. There wasn't a bad match on the card. Everything made sense. You got a lot of cool angles coming out of this. A lot of good.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it an A+ just because I think it was better than All In.
I think it was better than All In.
Which is crazy because of how rushed the show was. There's only two really long-term stories. Well, 3 because you threw out in the other one too. Yeah. Yeah, I think it did happen last night. I think we gave it a higher grade than, and that was only a week in between.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's crazy that All Out the last 2 years I think has been better from top to bottom than All In was.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, there you have it. Appreciate everybody coming through. Yogis and Joseph and Curvin for stopping in the chat. Go touch grass, my guy. And
think about fake wrestling.
There was no issues. I had no drop frames, so that's good. Maybe we'll try it again on Sunday, and we'll see where the fuck they're going with the BCC stuff. And we will catch you guys later.